I would like to welcome our guest, Carmen Hinderberger, and we would like to thank for accepting our request to give a lecture to us. Actually, you know me, Carmen, but for the audience, I am Selin, a fourth grade industrial design student at Mimar Sinan Fine Arts University. I will moderate this session with our community president, Şevval.
Thank you. So I am Şevval. I am also an industrial design student, second grade at Bahçeşehir University. And this is our first international event thanks to you. We are so excited to learn from you and your experiences. And we have 30 different universities tonight with us, and they are all industrial design students across Turkey. And we are thrilled to hear from you. So if you are ready, the screen is yours, Carmen. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm actually a bit nervous talking in front of so many students, and also talking not in presence, talking via Google is always a bit difficult, even though I think we're all not native speakers in English. So I try to do my very best, and if you have any questions, just let me know and I try to explain again. So can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I tried to talk in Turkish, but I think I can't do it. So good day, good evening, everybody. My name is Carmen Hinderberger. I'm 45 years old. I'm German, and I'm an industrial designer. I studied from 2000 till 2004 here in Schwäbisch Gmünd, where I am located still. And I'm working for a company called Ottenwälder und Ottenwälder. We are industrial design agency, and we're also doing interaction design. We have 2 interaction designers, 1 graphic designer, and 5 industrial designers here in our team. And I studied here in Schwäbisch Gmünd, and I'm doing part-time lecturing here as well at the Hochschule für Gestaltung, where Celine was the last 6 months. And that's how I got to know Celine, and she asked me to do this session today. And yeah, I'm pretty happy to give you some insight in my life as an industrial designer. And as I said, I studied here in Schwäbisch Gmünd, and those days we had 8 semesters for the basic studies. And in the 5th semester, this is still today, we going somewhere to work for 6 months. So we're doing a work experience. And I've just chosen the best place for this work experience. I went to Australia. And I got a job at Blue Sky Creative, and Blue Sky Creative is the agency that actually designed the Olympic torch for the Olympics 2000 when they took part in Australia, and that made them really famous those days. And I was working there in 2002 for 6 months. And also I was working for a company called Sunbeam in Australia, and they are designing and manufacturing household devices from toasters, kettles, irons, electrical toothbrushes, things like this, everything that you need in your household. And that was a very cool experience because it was designed in Australia and manufactured in China, which is pretty normal for Australians. But what was really exciting for me is that you don't see the final product until it's manufactured. So you just give your data to the Chinese manufacturer, and hopefully it comes back like you expect it to be. So that was a very cool experience as well. So yeah. If you are ready, I want to show you today some of our work from our studio, like what my daily business is and what our our philosophy is. And after that, I'd like to show and share some student projects from the last, I'd say 6-7 years, some interesting ones. And after that, we can have a session where you can ask all the questions you have.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Then let's start.
Yeah.
So, good day.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so this is the company I'm working for, Ottenwälder and Ottenwälder. We are based here in Schwäbisch Gmünd, and our philosophy is design creates value. This is just a short sentence, but it sums up all our thinking, all our design philosophy. And we all see ourselves as a multidisciplinary and global-oriented design agency that creates brand-specific, ecological, economical, and aesthetically outstanding products in the sense of the customer, including the corresponding interfaces. So we are working globally. We have clients all over the world. We have, for example, clients in Iran as well as in China. We are working for American companies. So yeah, as I said, all over the world, not in Turkey so far. We're not only doing the industrial design, we also have our interaction designers on the far left side with the cute little dog. This is our interaction designers. They also studied in Schwäbisch Gmünd. Then it's me, then it's my bosses, Petra and Max, and our little dog Annie. And this is the rest of our team, David and Nina. And our focus is always the customer. So we're not designing for ourselves. We're not doing like fancy products which have like the O&O style. We're always working for our customers. And we think about what's necessary for the customer, what's good for the customers, how can we increase sales, how can we save resources, how can we design a really good product that creates values to the world. And these are some of our clients. Most of them are German, but maybe which one could you know? So Beckman Coulter is international. There's big in medical laboratory stuff. Also Olympus is medical laboratory. Then Schaeffler is one of the biggest companies in Germany for the car industry. Of course, you know Siemens. Which one should you know as well?
I know Schubert, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I know that as a motorcycle helmet company.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
No, it's not that one. It's actually a packaging machine company. We will see an example in a couple of minutes. So yeah, these are some of our clients. And we've been awarded more than 150 times by national and international design and marketing organizations. And this is very important, not for us as a design company. Of course, we are proud of all these awards, but actually it's very important for our clients because they can use this for their marketing strategy. They are very proud when they develop a product, and at the end of the day, it's awarded by a design organization or marketing organization. So this is more for our clients than for us, but we are still proud. So as I said, design creates value. This is our philosophy, and I have now an example for each of those values, showing you a variety of products that we designed in the past 30 years. So the company was founded in 1991, and actually 31 years now, and I was working here for the last 23 years. So on all of those products that I'm showing you today, I was somehow involved in the design. All right, let's start with patent. So patents is a value which is very important for our clients as well. And of course, this is very complex, and it is not easy to get things get a patent for a special design. So it's always a collaboration, a very close collaboration between the customer and us as a design agency. And an example here is a professional cleaning tool. It's called Twixter. It's for a German company called Simon. And our challenge was to double the cleaning performance with this mop. And the technical features in this middle part here are really, really complex. And it was possible to get a patent for this. So this really makes us proud, and it protects the design. And if you talk to, I'd say, your parents, your grandparents, or friends, no one really thinks that you need an industrial designer for a product like this, because it's actually cleaning floors in hospitals, in railway stations, in any public areas. But yes, every product on the market is designed, even if it's just a cleaning mop. So anybody has to say what a product looks like, and therefore it's a designer. And yeah, so we're working for this company since about 20 years, and we think about professional cleaning tools every now and then. So this is very outstanding in the field of what people think about design. They always think about fancy products, but this is an example for a patent design. So the next example I have for you is rentability, which is very important for our customers, because everybody wants to increase sales, everybody wants to increase or decrease the product costs and increase the numbers, and of course they want to earn money with the products. And a product that we have here is an outer plant pot. It's called Adonis, and it was actually designed in 1999 or so, and it won a Red Dot Best of the Best, which makes us really proud, because it's just a small outer plant pot. It's about 10 centimeters high. I have one here, I can show you in parallel. I use it for all pens and pencils here on my desk. And it's about 10 centimeters high, and it's just a small plastic product, but it won a Best of the Best Red Dot Design Award because it's so intelligent. And the intelligence in this product is the tooling, which is based on the design, of course. And no one can copy this. Usually these kinds of products, they are manufactured somewhere in China or in Eastern countries, and they are exported to the rest of the world. This product here is manufactured in Germany, and it goes the other way around. So it's exported to Asia, exported to America, and even if it is such an old product, it's been awarded in the year 2000, so it's 22 years old. Even now they sell it, and they just adjust the colors every year. And so what's the fancy color this year? What's trendy? But the form itself, it stayed like that, and this is very rentable for our customer. And he loves the product because it's produced for a few cents, really a few cents, and it's sold for $1.50 and $2.30. It comes in two sizes, so they really earn money with that. And that's a value that design can create. So going to the next value, modularity. Especially in the field of machinery, it's very important to have a modular design. And I have one example for our shoe belt. It's not a motorcycle helmet, it's a packaging machine where they can pack cookies. And these machines can be up to 30 meters long. And sometimes there is an oven where they produce the cookies on one side, and then it goes on that carrier, and all the robots pick it into a tray, and the tray goes through the machine. At the end of the day, you have those cookies at the end of the line. And this is, as you can see, it's a very modular system. So the outer housing is always the same, and the internal parts are also very symmetrical and modular. And it's all about cost saving here. It's about less material, it's about product efficiency, and with this modularity, it has to be really flexible, because if the client now wants to pack cookies and maybe in the afternoon wants to pack something different, it has to be really flexible with these machines. And if you buy a machine like that, it costs €1 million. So you have to ensure that the machine can stay very long. So it doesn't look old, like in terms of design. Of course, the functionality has to be given. Like, I mean, this is not not our topic. This is our client's responsibility. But also in terms of design, we cannot do a machine like this for €1 million, which with a really fancy, cool design that next year you think about, oh my God, it's an old one. Yeah. So it has to stay very long, and this is the success of this machine as well. So the next topic is sort of the same direction. It's about sustainability, but we think sustainability a bit different. We don't only think about material and like ecological material and about recycling and things. We also think about formal sustainability. And here's an example from a Norwegian toothbrush. This toothbrush was designed in 1998, and it's still sold today. And it won, a toothbrush never won design awards in those days. And this was the first one that actually won design awards. And it's a 2-component toothbrush. So we have a soft component here in the handle, and a hard component here for the bristles in the brush head and all that. And this toothbrush is so it's sold worldwide. And it's so funny, because normally after 2 years, the tooling of the toothbrush, all the tools that you manufacture the toothbrush with, they are broken. And then the company says, okay, if I need a new tool, I can make a new design. But this toothbrush is sold since 24 years now, and still sold. Also, they adjust the colors every now and then. But it's so successful because it has a very calm design. It's not so exciting. It's not so exciting. It's not so crazy. It's very calm, and that's why people like it a lot. And that's why we say sustainability, formal sustainability, is very good. So you don't see that it's an old product. If you see toothbrushes that were sold 24 years ago, they look completely different. And this one is really outstanding in the market. So security, also a value. And we have an example here from a industrial gateway. It connects, for example, the packaging machine. It's the same client. It connects this machine to cloud and delivers data from manufacturing, production, and it has to be very safe, of course, because no one wants to send any data in a cloud, which is not safe. So therefore, the design has to look very trustful as well. Usually those kinds of industrial PCs, they look like the the lower part here, it's just a plain metal box with like a lot of connections in there. And with this industrial PC, we wanted to demonstrate that it's a really safe and yeah, maybe luxury product, because we used materials from more from the consumer side. Like, this is an industrial product, but for consumers, you would have like a high gloss, fancy front face with like a touch screen. And this is very, very important. The people trust in this PC, and that's why it's sold in the industrial field. Okay, let's talk about efficiency. Efficiency is very important in the design as well. So, efficiency, here is an example from the light. We are designing lots of lights for many companies, and this is for museums and shop windows. So it's a spotlight, and it's a series of spotlights. So what makes it efficient? It's not only the LED technology makes it efficient, it's also efficient using same parts. So what we have here, this upper box where all the technology is inside, and then we have this adapter here, and you can actually adapt many different spotlights to this, because all the knowledge and all the technology is up here. So the upper part is really the expensive part, and the lower part is the design part. This is what you see, what you recognize when you look in shop windows, when you go to museums. So it's very efficient to have like an emotional part down here and a very technical part up here. So you can increase the number of sales with that and have different spotlights with like one adapter. So this makes it a really efficient family product, very modern, and our client is happy with this and also won 2 design awards, the Red Dot and IF Product Design Award, both international ones. Brand and branding is a very high value that we can create with design. And here we have a very different example. So this is a petrol nozzle, and it's also quite old. In 2004, the company BP, which is called Aral in Germany, so it's BP, but in Germany we call it Aral. They came to us and said, oh, we have a new petrol, and it's called Ultimate. And this Ultimate petrol has more power and less pollution. So, and it costs 10 cents more approximately. And they asked us, what can you do at the point of sale to demonstrate to people, okay, it's 10 cents more, but we have more power and less pollution. Okay, so in 2004, no one really cared about pollution. Yeah, so this was an add-on, but the main thing was about power. Nowadays, it would be completely different. Yeah, no one wants power. Now we're caring about our environment, Fridays for Future and all that. Yeah. So, but in 2004, it was more about power. And we weren't allowed to touch the nozzle at all. So the nozzle that you see, the petrol nozzle here, is a pretty basic petrol nozzle. But we added this second handle to it. And it's kind of very significant at the point of sale, because you have like 5 petrol nozzles next to each other, and one of them has the second handle. And it reminds us of the 2-hand fueling up from Formula 1. So it's so powerful, you need actually 2 hands to fuel up your car. And especially men like it. So it's still there on, I think, European, I'm not sure if worldwide, but on European petrol stations from Aral or BP outside of Germany, we have that second handle for the Ultimate petrol. And this was not, of course it's industrial design, but it's more branding. it was all about marketing story. It was like transforming the brand promise, more power, less pollution, into a product. And so for us, this is more an example for marketing and branding, but also very important value. So when we talk about brands, we talk about trust as well. People have to trust in brands, and to trust, you need industrial design as well. This is an example. This is an industrial PC. So it's an industrial monitor. It's not a monitor that you use back home. It's actually on machinery, like the packaging machine, like, I don't know, woodcraft machines, like saws or anything. It's an industrial product, but it has the appearance of like a consumer product because it's very thin and it's very designy. So the industrial machinery, they trust in this product because it looks like a very high-end consumer product. And also we could do a brand-specific design with it because it just has this little blue square up here. And if, for example, your company logo is pink or green or yellow, they would actually make this little blue square in pink, green, or yellow. So it can be brand specific, and it's very significant in the international market. So it's a product from Germany, and you can also see a example from our interaction design team. So we're doing interaction design as well if the company needs it, and especially if a product like this will be sold, then you can show it with like a black screen because it's off, because all the clients would put their own graphical user interface on that. But if you sell it like with a screen, then it's just more trustful, and therefore this is an example. Okay, and the last example from my company is a value precision. So most of the design products have to be really precise. That makes the difference to from a good design product to a poor design product. And here is an example for a product that you would never expect is designed. This is a chuck tool. You can actually put a drill in here, or for milling of, like, for example, for the car industry. And this product actually goes into big machinery. But we always say as designer, it doesn't matter if like any worker is working with the product, it's sold on the table. If a company needs products like this, they go around and have a look, what can I buy? And it's definitely all about pricing. It's all about functionality. But at the end of the day, if they're all the same and all similar pricing, the design is very important. And so we designed those products together with our client, and they look very dynamic in the field of all their competitive products, because we have those soft lines in here. All the others are really, I don't know if you know those products, they're just like cut and very hard cuts in there. And we have this soft line now, and we have like a really nice surface. It's very significant in the market because all the others don't really care about the surface. And this surface also is more resistant. It looks better for a longer time, so it's a very big value for this company. And we added this blue screw because the company logo is in blue, and so this is also it's significant, and people can recognize this from like far away because it has a blue screw. All the other products have black screws because they're cheaper. So this was some examples from my work, from my daily business, what I'm doing since 23 years here with the design team at O&O. And now I'd like to share some projects from university where I have this part-time, where I'm doing this part-time lecturing. Just one moment. Okay, so I want to start with a project from Tillman. I think that was in 2016-17, something like this, and he designed smart binoculars. Okay, this is the briefing, it's in German, so I just continue. Binoculars, yeah. He wanted to design smart binoculars, so when you look through that, they can actually detect like the environment and give you information about the height of mountains, for example. So here you can see, or where the next walkways are, or any kind of information that you need. Where is north? What's the temperature? Things like this. Where are you at the moment? So that's why it's smart, and of course it's connected to your smartphone, so you can use it almost as a navigation tool as well. And when we go back, he also showed us here in this design project. It was the third semester, by the way, and it's very impressive for a third semester product. Because it gave us an insight what how the binoculars are built and what's the internal part, from like all technical parts in there up to the design parts. And when we go on with the presentation, you can see that you can also divide those two binoculars, and you have like a mono type one. And you can share, for example, with your friend. So you only have one part and your friend is using the other one. And also you can adjust the width of the two parts with this connection in the middle. And to complete the product, he also designed this packaging that you can take up when you go walking or hiking. Here you can see the complete family. So this is the packaging how you buy it in the shop. This is the packaging how you take it when you walk along the mountains, when you go hiking, the product itself, and then some accessories that come with the product. And I think that's a really impressive example for a third semester. He also designed a logo, and it looks like a real product. It looks like you could buy this on Amazon or wherever. So for a third semester, this was really, really good. And it was built in the workshop, so this is not a rendering, it's a real model. And we could actually touch it and try, and yeah, it was really impressive. Okay, I have another outdoor project for you.
Can I ask a question about this binoculars? This is a student project, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if, for example, I wanted to design something like that, but I thought I couldn't be able to design the electrical parts inside it, or the GPS, or is it the important thing to design the story behind it, or I have to do it with, I have to design all the electrical parts inside it, or anything like that, all the technical parts as a student?
Okay, so very simple question, very simple answer from my side. For my work as an industrial designer, and this also, it's the same with your student projects. You are an industrial designer, so you design the outer parts of it. And you have to design, of course, how those parts, how many parts do I need in here, yeah? But at the end of the day, when you are later on in your job and you're working for a company, you're not designing any electronic components because you are an industrial designer, you're not an electrician, and you cannot give any guarantee that that works because you don't have the experience in that. And if you buy this product and the product doesn't work and the people blame you or claim the money back from you, but you're not responsible for that. So, for example, this is like a student project, and he was talking to experts, and the expert said, okay, for example, you need a board in here, or you need the thickness of the glass should be like this or like that. And then you have somehow an idea how big, how much space you need for all these internal technical components, but you're not responsible for the design of that. We cannot do this.
You can revise it.
Yeah.
After you, maybe you can work with someone who knows it.
Exactly. So, for example, when we're designing these packaging machines, yeah. We have only the responsibility for the look and feel and the outer shape of the machine. We're not responsible for the robots and how they work and how fast they are and how good they are, how precise they are. This is not our job. We're doing the outer shell. We tell them what color they have. We tell them the dimensions. We tell them how big a radius is or how soft the surface can be, things like this, but not the internal technology. Does this answer your question?
Yes, because actually that kind of blocks me every time when I'm designing. So that's okay. It was the answer to my question.
Yeah. So I mean, this is how we do lecturing here in Germany. I'm not sure about your university in Turkey. If you need more technical background, but here in Germany we are really, and I think that's a global thing. Also, when I was working in Australia and we were designing, for example, a toaster. We were doing the outer shape, but we didn't think about how hot the heat pipes in there are or how much space we need in there to get a cooling system or, we talk to experts and they give you an advice and they tell you, okay, we need some space here. How big is that space? And then you decide if the space is in a square format or a round or this is design, yeah? But you're not measuring any kind of heat flow or things like this. Therefore, you really need experts from the industry.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Can I ask one more? I'm taking too much time, but if it's okay for you.
Go for it.
For example, the PC you designed.
Yeah.
Did you design the like screw parts when you screw it?
This one?
No, the industrial one.
This one?
Yes, this one. Did you design the screw holes or things like that for the motherboard or graphics card or something like that, or just the outer shell?
We designed the outer shell, but we told our clients, like the rear side, of course, has screws, and we told our client, okay, if we need screws, they say we need 8 screws, and they say, no, you do it with 6. 6 is enough, yeah? And they just use any kind of screw, and we tell them, no, just, for example, use small screws, like with this screw head, place it on there and there, on this spot, because like technical engineers, they just place screws wherever they want to, where they have space, and then it looks like really ugly. So we actually give advice. This is a kind of ping pong game, yeah? So we tell them, okay, the design has to look like that, and then they come back, but I need a screw here. I will say, okay, then we think about how to get rid of the screw, or how to integrate the screw into the design. And then maybe we ask them, oh, can you make the screw a little smaller? Can you use a black one? Can you move it 5 millimeters to the upper side, or things like this. But this is like a very close collaboration to the technical engineers.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay, let's go back to the another student outdoor project. So they started with a mood board about their colors and about where the products should be used, and to give us an impression, to pick us up, to make us interested in the project. And this, for example, is their color scheme. It's a dark gray and this blue color, and it's their logo. It's a logo for an outdoor company. And this is the design team. It's 4 students. I think that was in 2017-18, something like this. And each of the students made one product, but the 4 together created a product family. So this is very important that all those products they're all for outdoor use, and they all have the same characteristics, you will see. So this, for example, is the first product. It's a kind of light that you put on your head when you go hiking or when you go into, what's that word? It doesn't matter, you know, it's when you go outside in dark. So also we have like these technical parts that he talked to technical engineers and then designed the product around it. Here you can see some drawings, how he explained like how it holds on a strap that you put around your head. It's talking about the LED technology. It's talking about metal surfaces, about the different modes where the light can be like really bright, or you can dim it a little bit, and how to use it. So this is of course all in German, but I think it gives you an idea. And here you can see the connection part to the strap that goes around your head. He actually built some light in there, which was not, I didn't ask him to do that, but he was so interested in doing this, and then he talked to some electrician and they found out how to make it. So it was really a working prototype then. But for the design itself, it's not necessary that it is a working prototype, but it's nice to have if you can do it. So, okay, and then we have a packaging this is how it would be sold in the shops. And when we move on to the next project, this is a portable microscope. When you go hiking outside, you can watch some plants or little animals, and this is a portable one, so it has that folding handle. Again, he's using the same kind of drawings, yeah? And he's explaining some LEDs around here for if you want to use it at night. He's showing how to charge it. Here it has an SD card inside to save images and stuff, and here you can see it's so small you can actually put it in your bag and continue with your walks. The third product, the third student designed is a camping cooker that you can actually use outside, and again he's in the same color scheme. He has got like the same holes down here like all the other products, so it gives a kind of family character. So as I said before, the 4 of them, they designed a product family, but each of them has its own product. And here you can see the functionality of the cooker. Also you can adjust it to make it more hot or more power. It has a down here, and it tells about all the functionalities, about springs that are inside, how to put it on the floor so it can has a good stable stand, things like this. And his packaging, and also it comes with like these little wood parts, so you can actually cook in there. And the fourth product is from a student, and she designed all the cutlery and all the plates for outdoor use. And again, here you can see it's a modular system and it all fits into each other, so it's quite small when you carry it around in your backpack. It's talk about material, it's talking about the weight, the volumes, and some extra stuff, which with like cutlery or how to carry it and how to lock it when you carry it in your bag. All those products were built in the workshop. So this, for example, the last ones are actually photos of the product, and of course these ones are renderings. Was very impressive design work as well from the, I think that was the third semester project. Second or third, I think third. Yeah. So another project is from a student called Maximilian. And he actually designed a children's toy, an education toy. And the topic here was Fridays for Future, and each of the students had to design a product in the field of Fridays for Future. And he said he wanted to educate children while they're playing. And he took a tree kind of thing, and he designed different elements from a tree, and it comes in a box. And he designed like the packaging of the box and all these elements. And then you have some play cards with questions, and if you answer a question correct, you get one of those little tiny parts. And then you can build up a tree, and depending on how many correct answers you have, you can play this for yourself or you can play with others, and you can create this tree together. And it's not only about answering the questions and learning about the nature, it's also learning about construction of a tree, like where are the roots, how big has the roots to be so that the tree is not collapsing, where do all the twigs go, where do all the leaves go, things like this. So it's a quite intelligent toy. And it was very successful when we had an exhibition here, so many people loved it. That's why I added it to here. And also, I think it's a good idea to show you for a student project, you can also do something like toys. It doesn't necessarily also have this industrial kind of thing with like lots of technology and with LEDs and all that. To design a modular system with like these little parts that all fit together to create a tree like that, this is not so easy. So it's a really complex product, even though it looks like really cool and childish, and yeah. So that's why I added it. And the last project I want to share with you is 3 students from a third semester project that was last year. And they also designed a corporate identity for their products, corporate colors like white, black, and a little bit of red. And it was all about analysis of data. So the first project is a mobile microscope again. So with this one, you can go out and just have a look at little plants, little animals, little stones, whatever. So it's really used for a mobile, so you can transport it to any location. But it's still professional, so it's not like a consumer product, it's a professional tool that you just use outside. And here you can see like it's a beautiful rendering. and also talking about design language. So it's not only about the colors. When you see, like, for example, the pattern up here on that round part, so this is used in all the other products as well. And also adding product graphics to your products is very important. So those guys also designed, where's the logo? Oh, it's later on. They also designed a logo for their company and added some product graphics like technical features. Of course, this is all fake, yeah. So it's just a block of material. There's no technology inside, but they sort of have an idea how much technology we need. And for example, the handle here, you know that from your cameras. So you can easily grab that product and take it like a camera. It's about the size of a big camera, but it's a microscope. And here is all the technology for a microscope in here. And also you can adjust with these black stripes here, you can adjust the width of your eyes. And so it's very, very intelligent as well. Here you can see how it works. So there's a mirror inside here, and of course you look inside here, you see that mirror, and this mirror gives you information about the things that are up here on this little glass plate. And here again you can see those elements, those design elements that are used in all the other products as well. So here is the product in use. Here you can see he made beautiful renderings, and on the right side of the page you can see this is just a 3D print. So what is very important as well, if you have to think about when you present, do you present only renderings or do you present also mock-ups? And sometimes you don't have the time to do both, like really professional. And so I think it's really cool to have just a mock-up as a 3D print. It doesn't necessarily have to have the same color, or, you know, it's just a 3D print to give you the dimension so you can actually hold it. And then in addition to that, show beautiful renderings and mount it into like a real photo. So it gives you an idea about the product, even though this is completely digital, but then you can hold it as a mock-up. So the second one in this team, he made a mobile inspection camera. For example, if you have to research in like kind of holes or things, I can show you here. You can add like a thing like this, and you can inspect, for example, your water tubes or any kind of things that you don't see inside. And here you can see he's also using the same pattern, and he has like the same color scheme, a little bit of red, and the rest is black and white. And yeah, this is a family character, and again in use, and also rendering in use. And here you can see just a 3D print to give you an idea if it's the right dimensions to hold it. These tools are all for professional use. That's why they're using these big gloves. So it's not like that very small hands, and you know, inside, it's outside, it's for rough work, and therefore it has to work with like the big gloves. And the third one is a firefighter camera. So with this camera, it has some augmented reality data. When you walk, for example, as a fireman walking into a building, and you can measure how hot the fire is, or detect some fires that you don't see, but the camera can detect it by measuring the environment temperature. And this camera actually goes on a helmet. So here you can see the camera part, and here you can see it can be attached to any kind of helmet. So you use your normal helmet, you just attach the camera. And usually those firemen have the camera in their hands, but when they walk into a building, they probably need their hands to, you know, she wants to have like a hands-free system, and that's why she attached it to the helmet. And again, it's a beautiful rendering mounted into a photo. And here, because it's such a big product, she only made half of it as a 3D print. And that's absolutely okay, because we just want to see the dimensions. And so these are another 3 really, really cool products. And because those students, they were so full of energy, they said, okay, now we want to add some more, and they made like this packaging to it. So all the 3 products are in those boxes. Yeah, they have their logo, and they all using the same power supply. And here you can charge your power sticks, and so this is also a system that they created together. And again, product graphics, very important. They could just make this in black, but they added some product graphics, and this makes it to a real product. So here you can see the 3 of them next to each other. And I think it's also a really cool family, designed from 3 different people, but they defined the corporate identity together, and that's the final project. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. Thank you very much for your attention. And I am happy to stay a little longer if you have any questions, so feel free to ask.
Thank you again. It was a pleasure to us to listen your experiences and projects of your students. And yes, if you have time, maybe we can accept some questions, because I can see some questions on the chat.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I can start with the first one. Jansu asks, please explain effect of cultural and educational differences between different schools and on industrial design.
Okay. Yeah, that's very difficult, because like I was working in Australia, but the job there was pretty similar to how we design in Germany. There was not really cultural differences. But for example, the last semester where Celine was in was very interesting for me, because there were, I think, 10 German students, and then we had 2 from Turkey, 2 from England, and 1 from Costa Rica. And that was so different. It was really different. There was like really different cultures. And I actually thought that the Turkish girls were the best in the team from the internationals. That was very close to how we design over here and how we lecture over here. And I found that yeah, you were very close to our culture in terms of design.
Okay, thank you.
That's how I thought. I don't know what your experience was.
I'm honored right now myself. Yeah, the last semester was a great semester for me, because, like as you said, there was so many different cultures. So I don't know, it was very different to see the different culture designs and everything.
Mm-hmm. For me, it was really difficult, because I only have Germans, and talking in German, it makes it a lot easier than for all of us than talking in English, because we're not native speakers. And then we had these 2 English guys who were native speakers, but they actually made more mistakes than we did in their writing. So yeah, it was very funny. Funny semester. Okay, next question.
Next one goes from Brock. He says, as we know, Germany is home to millions of Turkish people. Have you ever specifically looked at Turkish designs and how Turkish designs perceived by your country?
It's actually a good idea. I never thought about this. Yeah, because See, when I'm working in my company, I don't wake up in the morning and think about a new design. It's all about jobs that we get from our clients. And for example, we designed a product, especially for the US market. And then, of course, we had to dive into US culture, yeah. But no one asked us to design a product for Turkish market. But even though you're right, there are so many Turkish people living here, also in Schwäbisch Gmünd. I have Turkish friends. So yeah, why not designing a special product? Actually, we're working for Iranian companies, and that was very funny. That might be maybe interesting for you, because we thought when we designing for Iranian companies, we have to design like a little bit Persian and a little bit, you know, with like cultural things.
Yeah.
And we did the concept A, B, and C. And A was like pretty international. B was like sort of very futuristic, and C was sort of Persian influence design. And they hated it. They said, no, we want a German company to do an international design. We don't want any Persian style of that. It was very interesting for us, because we thought we honor them if we give them like some, you know, golden patterns and stuff, and they didn't like it.
Thank you. And the other question is, what makes us an international designer? Like, have you ever worked with designers from across, and you said that you worked? Can you tell us about your experiences to become an international designer, to accept from all over the world?
Yeah, I'm more working with international engineering teams than international designers, because international designers would be my competitors. So I have more experience in like the technical engineers, and yeah, you have to think about cultural backgrounds, definitely. And talking about international design, I think we have to reduce design to the maximum. If it's like, for example, Apple products, yeah, they're reduced. They still have like their identity, but they're reduced to the maximum, and that makes it so successful and so international. That's why everybody all over the world likes those products.
Thank you.
Okay, I think this is the last question from Irem. I just want to know, what are your suggestions for the freshman college students? How should we evaluate our university years in order to develop professionally?
Oh my gosh, that's very difficult. Well, my advice for you, keep your eyes open, stay normal, don't think too complex, think about easy kind of things. As I said today, this children's toy was so complex, and it was so good that he made it, yeah. And even though it's not like a really fancy technical product, it was a really good design product. So don't think too complex. Stay with you. Stay calm. Stay interested. Yeah, be interested in any kind of fields. Don't focus yourself too much into one field. So if you like, I don't know who it was with the motorcycle. So if you're absolutely into motorbikes, then definitely don't design motorbikes. Do something different. Design flower pots or toothbrushes then, because you can only learn if you dive into different fields. In our company, for example, we're designing roof tiles, the thing that you have on your roof. Yeah? No one ever thought about roof tiles from us. And we're also designing little toothbrushes, glass series, porcelain. So whenever you dive into a new project, you learn everything about it. You have to be an expert in this. And that's why stay open to any kind of thing, and don't focus yourself too much into one field. So if you're always into medical products, then never design it. Do something different.
Thank you so much.
That's my advice.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your design process? What do you do first and what do you do last, or something like that? Because I'm in my last semester. I'm gonna do my graduation project, and in my school, I've been in some better places, but in my school, they don't actually teach us enough about the methodology of design, I guess.
So you start with a big analysis. I mean, depending on if you have your project already, if you know what you want to do. Like, for example, we stay with the motorbike helmet. If you want to do a motorbike helmet, you have to be an expert in your field. You go on a research, on a worldwide research, and you learn everything about motorcycles. And you learn everything about head, and you learn everything about safety. So you do a really, really big analysis. And also then think about, for example, nature. If you think about, well, what's it called? Like a grapefruit, is it English word as well? Like an orange kind of thing, grapefruit? So, also, what's this other thing? It has a really fine structure in it, and I know one student, he did a research on that, and he said if you smash a grapefruit on the floor, nothing really happens because the structure of the cells in that is so good and safe. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. So when you know everything about motorbikes and everything about heads and about protection, then think about, for example, nature, and you're going to research for that. So, and then at a certain point, you have to make yourself a schedule. This is very important. And you give yourself, let's say, 4 weeks for research. And after that 4 weeks, you know everything about it and you stop researching, because you can do research until your final presentation, but this makes you crazy. And on some point you have to decide.
That's what I do.
On some point you have to decide, I'm an expert now, and I am an expert. Finish, And then you create yourself a strategy. You take your schedule and you give yourself another 2 weeks time for the strategy. And the strategy could be like, where do I want to sell the product? Does it need a packaging? Does it need interaction design? Whatever. All these kind of things that belongs to a strategy that makes it a successful product. And then you are an expert with a cool strategy. And the next thing you do, you start designing your product. And you start sketching, and you're doing like mock-ups made out of easy material. You use an old pizza carton, or you use from your kebab, the paper or whatever, whatever you can find, and you start designing with this. Don't go in a model shop and make like a really fine structure, because it goes all in the bin, You start with like easy material, whatever you can find. And again, you have your schedule, and a certain time, maybe 3 or 4 weeks later, you stop designing this. And then you have, let's say, 50 different mock-ups on your table, from kebab papers to whatever you can find, And then you think about, okay, who has the most potential? And you make yourself a presentation. You think, okay, maybe this one is the best way to do it. And then you grab this and you finalize it. Then you go into CAD. Then you go into 3D modeling. Then you do all these technical parts. And then you think about your research, where you learned that maybe it is good to have like this or that surface, and you add that surface to the product. So this is the finalization. And at the end of the finalization, you are pretty close to your product. And then, before you have I always suggest to be finished with your product 1 week before the presentation. So make yourself a schedule and reschedule your presentation 1 week ahead. So then you have enough time to think about, maybe, I could do another logo, or maybe I could do a packaging adding to this, or things like this. So implementation, like graphic design, you could do like with the binoculars, we had like these little straps, or you can have a little manual with that completes your product. But this is just add-on. No one asked you to do this. But at the end of the day, when your professors have a look at it, and think, oh my God, it's a full product. It has a packaging, it has some accessories to come with it. So that's perfect then. So I sum it up. You do analysis. Second, strategy. Third is design conception. Fourth is finalization of the design. And the fifth is implementation, like graphics, or you go and take photos and make your documentary with like photos of the real product, things like this. And very important, and the most important thing is make yourself a schedule. And don't do research until the last day, because it doesn't make sense. At some point you have to make decision, and decision making is part of the design process. And you have to make this decision in every single phase. You have to make it in the analysis, you have to make it in the strategy, you have to make it in the design conceptions. And that doesn't necessarily mean that if you find out in the design conception, oh, I need another loop and I have to go back to research and have to dive in there more deeper. But then just go and focus yourself on this research and don't do like a global research again.
Yeah.
Okay? Structure yourself. That's the most important part.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for your time and effort.
Yeah, thank you so much for so many people. I see so many. That's cool. I haven't expected that. So, Celine, thank you very much again for inviting me. Yeah, we stay in contact. If you have any more questions or I can give you more advice, maybe we can follow up on that one.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you again for your valuable presentation.
Yeah, and I wish you all good luck for your projects and for your...
I need a lot of luck. I need a lot. I have
you just need to structure yourself.
Yeah.
Then luck comes just straight away.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you very much. Then we can say choose.
Cheers, yeah. Bye-bye. Have a good time, yeah?
You too.
Bye-bye.
I promise.
Bye. Thank you.